At the end of your life, what will be your legacy? What will you leave behind for future generations? For the world, join the World Messenger, Izabela Lundberg, each week as she brings you a new distinguished guest from the business, sports, or entertainment world to share their success, their struggles, and their lessons. They will share their insights into current hot topics that affect everyone. Izabela facilitates an intimate, vulnerable environment to find the true value of humanity and real leadership. Are you ready for your legacy? The legacy that matters?
Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Izabela here, the World Messenger, and I have a special treat to give you the message from the world back to you. And we are traveling at the moment to Sweden. We're going to have a chance to speak with great friend and colleagues that is enduring unspeakable, similar events that I experienced in 90s. She's a beautiful human, beautiful woman from Ukraine that is now in Sweden as a refugee, amazing businesswoman, content creator, also someone that you cannot miss, great marketer, and through amazing human. Without further ado, let's introduce you to Galyna Daniel, so we can hear directly from her in this epic episode what is like to be in her shoes at the moment. Galyna, how are you?
Yes, thank you for this wonderful introduction, Izabela. Yeah, I'm doing okay, given the circumstances. Yeah, feeling really blessed, and I'm dealing with things one by one, I guess, as it goes. So yeah, I think life is improving, because if there is anything I learned from this experience is that there are lots of things that are beyond our control, but those that we can somehow control or change or maybe prevent or improve, we should rise to the challenge and just do it, rather than waiting and feeling sorry for yourself and just sinking into depression, because you can kind of feel it for a while, but in the long run it's not helping. And there is always moment that comes when you just kind of put yourself together and get it going, because nobody will do it for you.
I know that is very hard, because you and I have a very similar experience. Mine were in 90s, and ironically, I also was in Malmö, Sweden as a refugee, and took me a while to sink in what that means and to be labeled as one, and then also to understand the perception of people when we have to leave our country and seek the safety somewhere else. And of course, you are a mother and has a lot of challenges, and also a daughter, and has a family members and parents, and all of these roles, but also a woman that is working and providing and trying to navigate this horrible disruption. So, and with that in mind, do you mind just sharing, as you said, you took a massive action and you brought your family to safety, but how are you feeling, and how do you see the refugees now being treated and portrayed, and how is this sinking in for you, that reality?
Well, I would say that yes, Sweden is a country that is very tolerant to refugees, and I know that statistically they accepted like more refugees than any other country in the world. But still, there are lots of people who are very friendly and very much ready to help, and to support. And there are moments when you still kind of feel that you don't belong here. But I think that the reality is that you need to just, build for yourself and kind of make the best out of it. Because of course there are lots of opportunities, there are lots of limitations as well, because at the moment Ukrainians, they're not exactly refugees, you know, we are under the temporary protection, under the European directive, which grants us only temporary protection. So we don't even have the rights that other refugees had, for example, which, just doesn't make things easier, because you still sometimes you still feel like, things can change anytime and everything is very, indefinite. But that's the thoughts that you have to, put on the shelf somewhere, because when you keep thinking about it all the time, it's not helping, it's not making things easier. So you just carry on with your things and try to balance everything, which is not easy, to say the least. Because like you said, I have kids, I have my business, I have to adjust it to the current Swedish reality, because I also needed to get a job here in order to be eligible for certain things. And also we moved last week to a new place, which was crazy to balance everything, but I managed. And I just know, to all your listeners out there, one thing I want to say is that I'm just a person like everybody else, and if I managed, you can manage too. I know that nothing impossible in this life, as long as you just do your part.
I love your strength and resilience, Galyna. And I also wanted just to say, for someone who worked and advocated for refugees for over 2 decades, just because they're not given status or not giving full opportunity to support, that doesn't mean that is not what people truly need, right? And every time when we have to run for our safety, we seek refuge somewhere else. And I'm sorry to hear that it's a lot of things up in the air, because those things stress us out more. And also those things, in some ways, how we depending on our mindset, like we are just so strong, help us also to be more resilient and feel like no matter what, we're going to take it day by day. So I want to first of all kudos you for that, and congratulations that you figure it out. You got a job. You also figured out to where you can be housed and find your own new residence and move in. You're doing so many things very well and independently that a lot of times people cannot navigate just because of complexities and also emotional and mental strenuous efforts that they need to have. And when we are not supported, it's even amplified more. So do you mind sharing, obviously the culture is very different, but in many ways also similar. You're learning Swedish, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. And that's, I wouldn't say it's something that's coming just like this, because I'm, 46 and maybe, it's not quite a student age, but I'm enjoying it and I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I'm just grateful for all the support we already received, and this opportunities with learning the language. And I'm currently in the program that helps Ukrainian. It's specifically targeting, it's a project called Care Mildred, and it specifically targets Ukrainians who are in Sweden now. They help us to integrate into Swedish society, help with learning the language, provide guidance with how to get a job. And in general, I would say it just, would be unfair to say that I kind of, managed it all on my own, because the support I received, from my network, from the friends like you and other people I know through LinkedIn, from the people I met here, it's just tremendous. And I definitely wouldn't make it all on my own. It's just people around me, because yeah, that's true. Our surrounding is our power, the people we surround ourselves with.
You are so brave and you are so humble. And of course, it's all about community, but everything starts first with us. So what would you say obviously contributed the most for your success to quickly figure all this out? I mean, obviously your skill set and mindset, but I want for everybody to hear. Imagine everyone watching and listening have to flee with very little personal belongings and leave everything behind, and with your family, with your children, and you don't know where you're headed. You only know that you're going to have a more safety versus where you were at that moment. And then dealing with all of that, arriving, figuring out everything at the same time. So with that in mind, what the most contributed for that success? What did you already had in ways that helped you? Obviously from LinkedIn presence, a virtual remote work, but more than that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say it was a combination of my knowledge, my skills, the support from my network, yeah, the mindset, family support, definitely. Yeah, because, for example, lots of Ukrainians here that they kind of still feel lost on how to update their LinkedIn profiles, for example, because it's not such a big thing in Ukraine, unfortunately, using LinkedIn, or how to make the right CV. So I feel really blessed with the opportunities when I can help other Ukrainian people with that. You know, so yeah, I think it's also the more you give, the reciprocation thing, like the more you give, the more you receive. So that also, I believe, is a factor that really helps us succeed, because like you can't do it on your own, and you can't do it by just taking, you know, you have to give first in order to receive.
Well, that is beautiful. And I love how much you are giving back to your community, to your people that are needs to help, and any little help helps. But when we build the brand and visibility and also have the knowledge, right? Now you have now something that it's so versatile that other people need. It's easier to position. And I just love your attitude, how great marketer you are, and then how a genuine marketer you are, how well you explain, how much you are knowledgeable, able, and capable. And knowledge is something that nobody can take away from us, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm one of those people who are called eternal learners. So that's something that only does us good.
And you mentioned that you also involved right now giving back not only Ukrainian people around your expertise, but you also that you volunteering for organization. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what initiatives are and organizations that go, so everybody watching and listening that are compelled and interested to support, that they can also do that? What exactly does the organization does, and what exactly its impact of their effort?
Yeah, this project called Care Mildred, like I already said, they specifically target Ukrainians in Sweden, and they started with having a big event that attracted everyone who is interested in integrating in order to settle down, to get a job, you know, to kind of proceed with your life, to rebuild to any extent your life here. And all those people, they were distributed among different schools and universities in Skåne area, which is the south of Sweden. And now, in addition to studying Swedish, we also we get help with understanding different systems, how they work in Sweden. how to apply for certain things, what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do. And yeah, getting this kind of guidance is really precious, because when you are, in a new country and you don't really know how it works, yeah, just because you don't, right? That's, yeah, really nice to receive this kind of help. So yeah, I'm grateful for these people, who put their genuine efforts into, yeah, helping me and my people, because it's absolutely essential for us. That it will just make things, faster and easier for us to achieve our goals, here, whatever they are.
That sounds fantastic. And I'm so glad that you have that, because when everything is at once new country, new language, new culture, new customs, new expectations, new job, new home, and all the still worry and uncertainty about safety of your loved ones back home, or not knowing if you can go back home, and uncertainty what is happening with your friends and family, all these stressors can really affect people in the long run. And also how quickly we assimilate and adopt will determine how successful we'll be. And since like you're doing an amazing job of assimilating and embracing the change. So with that, do you mind sharing, what would you suggest for someone that is resistant to embrace the change? What would be something that you can give them as advice? Because we're having people here all over the world, specifically here in the United States where I'm at, that they're resisting small incremental things that are going to greatly benefit them. And you embraced so many aspects of the change at the same time.
Well, yeah, I would say that it's mainly about acceptance, because it starts with acceptance, just awareness. I would say that this world is changing, and it's changing rapidly, just technologies, people, all this, the globalization, people are moving back and forth, and people are mixing, and people are exchanging knowledge, exchanging different things. So all this brings change, and it will only be beneficial for us, when we embrace this change. And it definitely starts with acceptance. We just should accept the reality and understand that, yeah, change is an integral part of the modern world, and it's like you can try to avoid, you can kind of keep your eyes shut, and yeah, it will take you nowhere. So just, yeah, once we accept that change is a part of life, it will, yeah, positively impact our lives, definitely.
That's great. So because again, I want everybody to pause for a second. If Galyna can do this with plethora of forced, unexpected change, and use that as a stepping stone to set herself for success and be independent and be able to continue to work and provide for her family, for her beautiful children, support her parents, and do so many things in midst of crisis that continues, in midst of the war that is happening in her country, then we have to look at deep down and think why we are resisting and why can we do what we needed to do to better our lives and move things forward. Do you mind sharing some interesting things or something that stood out that you find super exciting or amusing or maybe even funny or different that you find it as you're in Sweden right now that are your children picked up on, or that you find some really interesting either customs or things that really stood out the most for you?
Well, there are lots of things which we really appreciate, because children really like Swedish schools, for example, because they feel like they are more relaxed and the whole system is different than what it was in Ukraine, and they are enjoying it. Yeah, and just yeah, also one of the things I like about Swedish people and that stood out for me is that they kind of try to keep everything in balance. You know what they call lagom, that yeah, that you know, not too much and not too little, and that really, you know, resonates with my personality type, because I don't like extremes. I'm really into, I guess I can handle them when needed, but I'm really into having balance and having just harmony, you know, in my life. And in that sense, Swedish culture really resonates with me.
That's fantastic. And I love the word lagom that you mentioned. For everybody, it means slow or moderation, everything in moderation. And Swedes don't necessarily express their emotions a lot. They're very stoic or very consistent, right? And a lot of times, you know, it's like different pace. And I'm, for example, I'm a little bit more more passionate and more action oriented. And I remember that that adjustment and shift took me a little bit to get used to it, and it served me good from process of healing, but also served me good to better connect with the environment that we're in. And for you, it seems like it's just a natural fit. You feel like home, huh? That's great.
Because to be fully honest, Sweden was my choice to move when everything started. The main reason was because I already lived here before for about a year. Well, that was a long time ago. I was here as an au pair in a Swedish family. So that was my choice number one, because I was already kind of, you know, familiar with the culture, with the language. Even though I wasn't speaking the way I should, but still it was something. It wasn't that I came here and started kind of integrating from the ground zero. I already had some knowledge, and yes, that's why that was my choice number one, because I already had friends here, I already had connections, and once again, I knew I would receive some support, you know, when I come, and I'm really grateful, like from the bottom of my heart, lots of thanks to people who helped me. So that's just the things, with everything going on, I still feel like the things are happening the way they should. Let's put it this way.
That's great, and I'm glad. Actually, I didn't know. I'm glad you had that pre-exposure and there was a conscious decision, because you knew what you're getting yourself into, and had a good idea. Because a lot of times people don't have no idea, and they're hoping for the best, and they're hoping that they made a good choice and a good decision. And sometimes we think that, you know, and sometimes we find out. Sometimes it's a trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely, because well, this time it was still lots of trials and errors, because at that time I was very young, I was single, you know, I had completely different goals, you know, just the vision of life and everything. And this time I came with kids, you know, I had more responsibilities. So that was familiar, but not really. So just different ways of handling things, but still I feel that it's a real blessing, just first of all to be safe.
Yes.
And the rest is just coming.
Safe.
My children, my parents.
Yes, because we don't really appreciate as much as safety till we lose it. And then we recognize what that means in a long run, right? And then what that means for stability, but also quality of life. And specifically when you have a young children, as you do, for their upbringing, not missing the school, having stability, being emotionally mentally and physically and psychologically in general supported, right? And a lot of times we don't see all of these pieces till we really pursue that that new adventure and journey and turn it, as they say, those lemons not only in a lemonade, but making something really beneficial for other people as well. So with that in mind, do you mind sharing with audience that is watching and listening, how you keep on target? How are you balancing all of this, specifically because you are really living and leading with every day. And I see you so visibly on LinkedIn, which is so beautiful to see your presence and how still powerful, anchored you are and continue to be. How do you keep yourselves grounded and deal with all of those magnitude of all those changes and issues?
Yeah, thank you so much for your kind words. Yeah, I would say that what helps me the most, this experience taught me to just take one day at a time, because often I plan to do this and that and that and that, and I fail, and I screw up, and then I just made a decision to, try again next day, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I have to admit that I learned a lot from my LinkedIn connections and LinkedIn friends who post about self-care, who teach about being kind to yourself, because that is absolutely necessary, that is vital. As things work or don't work sometimes, we can always, good news is that we can always try again. And that is absolutely amazing, that every new day is a new chance, and every new day brings hope, and brings new opportunities. Because I was actually recently thinking that simple things like freedom, or peace or stability, like you say, or all the opportunities that we can have, but sometimes maybe miss or not fully use. We really don't appreciate them until we lose them, or something just, brutally violates them. So let's just not take them for granted, because they are.
Yes,
it's a real blessing, we often don't realize it, but it's a real blessing to have, to live in peace, to have freedom of choice, freedom of speech, that's something amazing. And I would just encourage everybody who already has these privileges to appreciate them, because there are so many people who don't have them, and let's just be grateful for what we have.
Such a beautiful and powerful message, because sadly we don't know how long this issue with the war is going to continue, right? And we don't know when things going to start shifting and changing. But when they start, also shows the importance of bringing everything together, because after all these different stages in life, we also have opportunity to reconcile and reconnect and rebuild. And I hope that that happens sooner than later for you and your fellow fellow citizens from Ukraine. So Galyna, you're already leading and living your legacy in such a powerful way. And as a guest of Legacy Leader Show, and someone who is also already touching hundreds and thousands of lives of other people, not only through your work as a marketer, but also someone who is bringing and giving back to community. Do you mind sharing, what would you like your legacy to be? What would you like to be known and remembered by? Now that you experience this other side of life and war and, danger and everything else when things kind of get more crystallized?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I wasn't really thinking about it. I didn't realize I was building my legacy until you brought it up. Yeah, so thank you for that. Yeah, well, I think I would like to be remembered as a person who just encourages others to be kind to each other and to do their best, with, I would say, not help other people, not just waste their lives, but to use them in full and to teach the right things to my kids, to, yeah, be maybe the example for others who are lost or, yeah, need some guidance or need some support, or maybe just someone who might benefit from my story. So yeah, that's, yeah, to be honest, yeah, just legacy just sounds like something really big, something, yeah, like large scale. So it's, yeah, there are so many things when you start thinking about it. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not planning to die anytime soon. Yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be about the deaths and but when you're gone. But as I mentioned, you're living every day your legacy already, and you're leading with that, and that is extremely powerful. And you're not one of those people that is waiting to get of age and then to do something, before the end. And that's why I'm also kudoing you, because this is such a great example and role model what is possible. But I also love how you are tying this to your values, to your children, to your family, and then also things that are important to you as not only as a mother, but also as a woman and as a Ukrainian woman, and the pride that comes with all of that, but also strength and resilience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, life is precious. And yeah, if I have anything, to say to the world, is just, remember that life is precious, your life and other people's life. And let's respect each other. Let's be kind to each other. Let's, remember that our needs are as important as the needs of any other people around us. And I think when we all start doing that, this world will start improving, and there will be less dramatic things to deal with as we do now.
That is excellent point and perspective again. And for everybody watching and listening, I would highly encourage you reaching out to Galyna and checking her LinkedIn profile, looking what she's doing, how she can also figure it out and help you to elevate your game, not only as a marketer, as an expert in LinkedIn profiles and whatnot, but also helping with the job search and CVs and whatnot, whatever falls under that umbrella, to make everyone more successful and to land a job, right? And be financially stable and secure, and be able to also to provide and contribute. Where would you like them also to go? And if I didn't already mention, where would you like them to go to connect with you? What is the best way so that they can get an opportunity to experience some of your great work?
Yeah, well, that's definitely through LinkedIn. Yeah, because my business operates on LinkedIn, and the majority of my network of all of the amazing people that I've been knowing that's been helping me, they're also on LinkedIn. So that's a place where I can be reached out for any kind of support related to job search or self-presentation, or maybe just finding some light in the darkness.
Mm. And in closing, Galyna, what would you recommend or suggest? We're running right now in holiday season when people celebrate and embrace their families. And unfortunately, people from Ukraine cannot do that in other parts of the world. What would be some message for everyone watching and listening to leave them with?
Yeah, well, I would, first of all, I want to wish everybody happy holidays. And I've been thinking about recently just about, loneliness in general and how like terrible it is. It's one of the worst things in the world, for people to feel lonely. And my message would be just look around, and if you see somebody who is lonely or who needs your help, and it can be, as like range between as little as sharing, cookies with somebody to maybe something bigger like giving a job to a Ukrainian person, or maybe just, supporting someone who feels lonely, like I said. We can just look around and see there are always somebody who needs help. So let's be more open-minded and open-hearted, and be the light to this world.
That is such a powerful message, and I cannot agree more. We know, both of us, that so many people are struggling, and those struggles are very challenging, how they go through day to day and how they also function independently and domestically and in working environments. And I cannot agree more, elevating kindness, support, because we don't have no idea what others are dealing with, right? And then at the same time, I love what you said. For everyone that can support Ukrainian people, we'll have some links and where you can do that, because it's all about coming together and helping each other in any capacity we can. Galyna, I just want to say thank you so much for giving us the time and opportunity to have you on the Legacy Leader Show and share your experiences, but also your attitude and mindset to continue to navigate so beautifully despite stressors and challenges, your current situation. Wishing nothing but amazing holiday season to you and your family, and quick war end, because unless you experience the firsthand, it's very hard for a lot of people to relate what the war is all about and how damaging that is and how it affects so many generations and how so many people and how many, unfortunately, lives are being lost as a result of it. So my beautiful sister, I'm sending you a virtual hug. And I just wanted to say you're not alone. Please speak up, please share. And everybody, again, watching and listening, please extend your love to Galyna, her family, as well others, and get involved. See the human side of this horrible, horrible situation.
Thank you for listening to Legacy Leader Show. If you enjoyed the content and had a positive experience, then please leave us a positive rating. In addition, leave us a positive review whenever you are listening on whatever platform that might be. Make sure your friends and family also know about the benefit and value that we provide and what we have to offer. Cheers.